Hello friends, I want you to know that I work hard to make these videos, so please give this video 1,000 likes. In the previous part, Ryu Min used a little force and hit a fat black scythe, and he collapsed lifelessly to the ground. Black Flame Dragon and the interviewer froze in place in shock. Their words failed to come out as intended, and their eyes dart around in confusion. The interviewer cast anxious glances back and forth between the lifeless body of Black Scythe and Ryu. Then he said to Ryu, "What in the world have you done? How could you dare to kill Black Scythe, a legendary figure?" He didn't expect the revered Black Scythe to meet such a simple end. He also said, "Have you lost your mind?" Ryu said with a low, menacing voice, accompanied by a piercing gaze directed at the interviewer. "Ah, you're blabbering nonsense, aren't you?" That interviewer was surprised and said to himself, "What on earth is behind that gaze?" It resembled the intense glare of a ferocious beast, capable of quelling one's spirit. Leaving the flustered manager behind, Ryu Min redirected his gaze to the empty air. Then the system message appeared. "You have committed murder while impersonating another player. The activation conditions have been met. You have discovered a hidden rune in this very place, the Rune of Doppelganger. The acquired rune will be automatically engraved onto the player's body." Receiving the message about obtaining the Rune of Doppelganger, a satisfied smile graced Ryu Min's face. Given the guy's future destiny as a villain, Ryu Min harbored no sympathy whatsoever. After that, the interviewer said, Little Croc, tell me, why in the world did you kill Black Scythe?" Ryu said, "Because he's nothing but a damn imposter." That interviewer said in amazement, "Imposter? What do you mean?" And he continued to gaze with suspicion and exclaimed aloud, "You should have killed the woman. Why did you kill Black Scythe?" Ryu said, "Because he was nothing but garbage, and the same goes for you." The interviewer became angry and said, "What did you just say?" With a slight tisk sound, a long, ominous sickle suddenly appeared in his hand and said, "I dare you to say that again." But Ryu took out his scythe and said, "I called you trash. Why? Do you have a problem?" The interviewer was shocked when he saw Ryu's scythe and said to himself, "What's this? Is the scythe Little Croc's main weapon?" So he felt a sudden pang of embarrassment, seeing their meager sickle. It seemed downright feeble in comparison, and he continued telling himself, "I've never seen a player carrying around such a massive scythe." But suddenly he recalled hearing about it. A player who wielded a giant scythe as their primary weapon. Then he shouted, "Could it be that you are the real Black Scythe?" Ryu said, "Now did you grasp the situation and know who is the true Black Scythe?" The interviewer said, "Yes, you were the real Black Scythe?" And without a moment's hesitation, he sank to his knees and said, "I'm sorry, please forgive me." Ryu said to the interviewer, "Why kneel all of a sudden?" He replied, "Well, it's because I deeply respect Black Scythe." Then a cynical smile danced upon Ryu Min's face, and he said, "You didn't bother to kneel before the imposter who fooled you, but now you do this?" Ryu said angrily. "Don't play games with me. Beg with honesty. Beg for your life." The interviewer said in fear, Please spare me." Ryu smiled and said, "Sorry, I forgot to say that I'm not good at saving people." The interviewer's eyes widened in a split second, realizing that his plea would be met with rejection. But suddenly, the interviewer's head bounced off the ground like a cluster of grapes. Rolling away, it came to rest at the feet of the Black Flame Dragon. Meeting their gaze, the Black Flame Dragon felt a sudden tremor of fear, and he said to himself, "This is the real Black Scythe. He's on a whole different level." Also, Black Flame Dragon hadn't even seen the attack that ended the interviewer's life. All he saw was the head falling after he swung that big scythe. Then Ryu said to Black Flame Dragon, "Now it's just you and me left. Do you have any idea what I'm about to do? If you have any last words, now's the time." The Black Flame Dragon mustered the courage to overcome his fear and managed to speak and said, I won't waste time with the obvious plea for mercy," Ryu said with a smile. "Oh, really?" Black Flame Dragon said seriously. I had something to ask when I met you. Why did you kill me 5 times in round 4? I was curious." Ryu said, The reason is simple. I wanted to keep you in check, Black Flame Dragon said in amazement. Keep me in check? But why? Ryu replied. Because out of all the people I saw back then, you seem to have some skill. I needed to eliminate the competition. In that moment, a sense of relief washed over the Black Flame Dragon, as if a 3-day-long constipation had been resolved. His doubts were finally put to rest. Then Ryu said, "Any other questions? Even if I kill you now, you won't have any regrets, right?" The Black Flame Dragon desperately wanted to beg for mercy, but seeing the manager die right after their plea made him feel it would be unwise to do so. Then he said, Can I ask just one more thing before the end?" Ryu said, "What is it?" The Black Flame Dragon said, "Why do you want to kill me? What have I done?" Ryu replied, "Because you're trash." The Black Flame Dragon said in amazement, "Me? What have I done?" Ryu said, "Aren't you here to kill that woman?" He said, "Yes, but I haven't done anything yet." Ryu became angry and said, "Haven't done anything? You've been a mere spectator all this time. Being a mere spectator is also a sin. Now, do you finally understand why you deserve to die?" The Black Flame Dragon didn't answer, but his expression still showed a lack of comprehension. Then, Ryu Min let out a sigh and said, "Fine then, I'll give you a chance to survive. Unlike those scams, your only crime was being a mere spectator after all." The Black Flame Dragon said happily, "Really?" But Ryu Min tapped the ground with his scythe. "Empty everything you have right here." Ryu's words may not have been clear, but the Black Flame Dragon obediently took out items from his inventory. Naturally, their life held more value than these insignificant possessions. Ryu Min's eyes gleamed as he surveyed the items laid out before him and said to himself, he actually has quite a useful collection. Orange marrow stone, yellow marrow stone, sellable equipment, and more. While he didn't possess items as rare as black gold ore, these treasures surpassed expectations. Swiftly, the Black Flame Dragon, carefully measuring Ryu Min's reaction, spoke up. I've emptied out the gear and the axe I was using. This is all I have left. There's nothing more." The Black Flame Dragon assumed that Ryu Min was dissatisfied. But in truth, Ryu was 99% satisfied, and Ryu said to himself, "If I sell all the items he bought from the shop, I'll get 2,000 gold." Ryu Min only took a few marrow stones and a couple of equipment pieces, stashing them in his inventory. The Black Flame Dragon was surprised and said, "Aren't you taking anything else?" Ryu replied, "No need. You can keep them." Some of the equipment, including the axe, couldn't be sold because they weren't shop-bought items. Then Ryu Min cast a glance at the other corpses and said to himself, "There's no point in searching them, because through previous rounds, Ryu already knew they didn't possess any valuable items. That's the reason for killing them without hesitation, unlike the Black Flame Dragon. Of course, he could have taken some loose change from them, but even if he had plundered their items before killing them, the Black Flame Dragon wouldn't have given up so easily." Then the Black Flame Dragon looked at Ryu Min with a mix of anticipation and unease and said, "So, does that mean you'll spare my life as promised?" Ryu said, "Yeah, I'll spare you. A promise is a promise." The Black Flame Dragon was happy and said, "Thank you. Thank you so much." Part ends here. If you want next part, write in comments and don't forget like and subscribe.